Welcome back. We are once again in the midst of another day in Higurashi. Shion paying some actual consequences for her actions, trying to get the others forgiven. Although, as we know what kind of happens further on down the line, I wonder how effective it all is. Plus, the Sonosaki family showing some scary colours right there. Not past forcing their own flesh and blood to go undergo these kind of favour regaining trials. Of course, it was the twin, which was already somewhat disowned anyway, but still, what other lengths are they going to go to? Who's really in charge, in power? Is there someone outside of the three main families? Is anything going to be answered at all? Probably not. At least not in a way that I would understand. But everyone does seem to have a pretty quick switch into going absolutely nutcase. There's still plot points and events which have yet to be explained, or even attempted to be looked at. So I'm cautiously optimistic about what might come up, but also absolutely horrified. Let's see some more. What are we going to be doing? We're moving on. The fact that someone else had been caught and captured, charged for the crime with the aunt. Was it a scapegoat? They found someone that was already, or made them, deceased. Was there a handwritten note? So now, alongside... why does he know that? The fact they're pushing on with the curse, just... Would that be something that a detective says? But also, considering it's still... Well, it might not even be an open investigation still. Is he right to be giving out the information that, Prefecture Police called us, we found someone, they were not amongst the living? Surely that should be somewhat under wraps. And also, are we going to be privy to any of that information, or is it just something else to add to the list of unexpected results? Did Rena actually ever get her Colonel Sanders' figure from the trash pile? Can't remember that one. Completely unrelated to anything we're seeing here, but I just remembered it. But since she is recovering her nails, there are unexpected results, someone else being labelled the culprit. With Satoshi still vanishing. The only thing that makes sense, the curse. But is there an otherworldly force at play here? Or Or is there actual just a... what's the word? Conclave of villagers and whatnot behind it all? What the hell was that sound? She may need to go to hospital. Aneurysms are not a thing to laugh at. And are we going to get any more to do with her before the whole... and someone goes missing. And is it growing over the years? There are some times where it's 1 or 2. And now we're getting a history lesson as well. I would like to know where the old folktales and legends of like human-eating demons and the like actually originated from. Something that we have seen in some form or another several times over in this show. A treat. Oh, how wonderful. It's not even her birthday and she's getting something so nice. I mean, we definitely found, what was it, one of them, the wife or something, was in the swamp. What was she trying to achieve there by giving out the notebooks? It's going to be an awkward conversation from here on in, isn't it? Now she's away from the family, and like, can she really take back what transpired? I mean, they're starting to grow in and the like, but yeah. She understands the situation that she was put in. Now we can move on, right? Even the thing with... and now that he is... I mean, it would all go through so much for naught if it wasn't believed. The demon. Now, does she believe that they had nothing behind it? Does seem like they have a direct line with the demons, obviously. The family and all. She is not fighting back at all. She herself went through the same... punishment. It was said how close they are as sisters, so... Now, hopefully, at least she sees that she's not alone. She'd forgive you. And it made everything so much more complicated. Now, I would tend to believe her in some respects, but anything's possible right now. Well, considering she was facing all of this alone as well. We've seen what happens when that demon gets let loose. Time skip. 1 year on. Has anything changed? And has she not learned her lesson at all? Satoshi's not here to come to our rescue this time. Is this a Groundhog Day situation? Has she just... Excuse me. Ah, Keiji. He is now shown up being the knight in shining armor. Not quite as that was effective. And now backups arrived. They've shown their true colours and fled. But not quite as steadfast as when Satoshi did it. Oh no. Has this just reignited something? Considering she locked away her heart a while back. The fact that they can have a conversation like this. So unexpected to be able to have a normal life, being able to talk to your sister and have a catch up and a lunch with them while the entire village burns. Ah yes, it was given away. This is what started the issue before. Sonozaki family and whatnot, with the demon to arise. Just carry on and try and catch his eye. Well, maybe she should also be a little more forefront, considering her demeanor being a lot more confident in herself. She's a great actress. If she can't go on the offensive all by herself, throw the sister into the mix. And now, is this something that she should have said aloud? She had to give up on her the feelings of her heart before, will we figure out or see what actually happened to Stoshi? Stoshi? And it means that... Oh. Interesting little meetup they had there. How exactly is this his fault? Excuse me. I mean, he will be into separate chunks. I can take one piece home each. Butterfingers. Maybe they were right about what they were saying about him earlier. How dare he have a civil conversation with her? That was dangerous. Set traps. Yeah, it was not for... Because her heart was moved for a moment there, she's now thrown through a loop. Keep telling yourself that. But without any sort of closure or anything about where he was spirited away to, makes it even more heartbreaking for her. Was the truck full of hay meant to symbolize anything there when she was crying about where is he? Or there was just a truck passing? He was behind her all along. I thought I recognized those shoulders. And is this just moments before Tomotake's accident? If we find out that Shion had something to do with these two, that's going to open up a can of worms. She can't stop them. We've seen what happens when people take a little expedition over to the tool shed. And will she find trace remnants? Look at him trying to get a better view. Alright, so we are following that same line, that same kind of story where they're travelling down together to the tool shed. But seeing it from the other side now. A different narrator to the story. They got fairly close before they realised. They either had some very incredibly light footsteps, or were just too engrossed. Is there still the hand lying around after Stocko broke it? Can we glue it back on. I mean, they could just be keeping it all around for historical purposes. The fact that she is hearing the tapping in the walls. Are we getting a telltale heart situation going on? Is today the best day to do all this if this is meant when the curse is meant to strike? There's a sudden moment of realization there. But also, if she's hearing the pitter-patter on the floorboards behind the walls, I really don't think in her state inebriation is really a good idea. An empty futon, someone, probably her sister, up and moving around. It can't be helped. More late night talks. And with the demons residing within them. Awakened the curse. What did they do other than just walking around and have a little look? Who decides to ring at a time like this? Someone creeping just out of your line of view. Maybe she was actually on something there. Onto something there. Could it be a remnant from the past? Or just a upset sibling? Was that trying to say that maybe the curse itself, the footsteps in the shadows behind you, were a lot more physical than spiritual? Mion, though she may not be fully in control, may have a lot more to do with it than she realizes. And how did they figure out that anyone went into the tool shed? Do they have motion sensors or something hooked up to it? Or just someone on guard? That might be a thing as well. Now seeing how close the sisters are, having Mion undergo the same punishment with the fingernails and the like. I'm not going to leave her alone. So the two sides to her are very distinct. This is a very different type of ending, little bit. Revenge. There is a lot to think about, especially when with the Sonozaki family. Mion herself may not want to be involved in any of it. The demon inside her, with whatever form that actually takes, the head of the family and whatnot, with all the decisions and power they actually have in the village. I think the main question is, after the proponents of the dam all went missing or fell to the curse, what is making the decisions of who should or should not be the next sacrifices? Mion really being at the end of her tether, snapping at her sister, almost choking her out. If it wasn't for the fact that Mion also went through with the same punishment upon herself, things could have went very differently. I wonder if she would have tried taking her place and being Mion from there on. And I think with her being so attached to Satoshi, having Keiichi come in and, as we were told in that first run-through, practically reenacting everything that Satoshi went through, following in his footsteps so closely, you can see why she's been suffering a little since his appearance. And, well, obviously the disappearance of Satoshi, wherever he ended up. Somehow I don't think it was in the swamp. I think that was a red herring. But having the Mia, whatever her name was, have that information, the notebooks, to really kind of delve into the curse or what might actually be going on a little better, I want to have a look at those. And will it actually just add to the confusion or actually help a thing or two? Probably add to the confusion. I don't know what to say, really. I did like the replay of the going into the tool shed. Seeing it from a different perspective now that we've got those two timelines, we know they are connected here, so anything that happened before is likely to reoccur, unless it's the same event going to the tool shed, but yet still forking off to different possibilities after. If they burn or claw, then we know exactly what's going on. But seeing that there are forces at play, there are families being involved here, it's a lot less kind of mysterious, spiritual tomfoolery. I think the next one will be a big step forward into knowing a little bit, at least, about what's transpiring here and who's pulling some strings, with Mion having the demon take her place that we saw before. With her only gaining a little bit of self-control before going down the well as well. Are we following that same thread here? I'm worried things can go quickly off the rails. And that's going to be bugging me for the next week. So, if you enjoyed this episode, please let me know. Leave a like and a comment down below if anything entertained you, if you're just as worried about everything as me, Or if you know exactly what's going on and are enjoying the confusion, let me know as well. Subscribe so you don't miss out. Go on to my Discord if that takes your fancy. But for now, get yourselves a bit of rest, so I can see you in the next one. Sparing the loss of any fingernails, I think my patrons might actually stand up for me at least a little, considering they're actually helping support the channel. And so, if you would also like to be that bastion of light against any rambunctious bikers, consider joining onto my Patreon as well and help support the channel alongside Noku, Sal, Guado, Kite, Raywin, Shiwan, Tori Jane and everyone else. And I really must thank each and every one of you.